The museum came about simply because of the collection that I'd gathered over the years, and that started with me as a child because of my family's background. My mother opened the Casbah Coffee Club, which is where the Beatles truly began. My brother Peter became the original Beatles drummer and played for the Beatles for 2 years. And my father Neil Aspinall became the roadie, became the road manager, and eventually became the managing director of Apple. So as a very young boy, and I've told this story to a few people, well, not on camera, to be honest. You're talking about a kid who's climbing conker trees with the Sergeant Pepper medals stuck on the front of his denim jacket because he liked them. The trophy from the Sergeant Pepper album, the trophy that's on the floor by their feet, a Cashbox trophy, that was on my mantelpiece as a kid because I liked the trophy. The Casbah Coffee Club sign that was being used in the driveway. There was cement being mixed on the back of that sign, and then it was all hosed down and thrown into a skip. And I said to my mother, "Can I have that sign?" And she said, "What do you want the old sign for?" And I went for my bedroom wall, and she went, "Well, if you want to pull it out the skip, you can have it." I pulled it out, put it on the bedroom wall. But at that point, this wasn't gathering these things because of the Beatles. It was gathering these things because I liked them. And then a little bit further on, obviously the whole, waking up to the Beatles phenomenon, people approaching me in school, realising the family's connection, talking to me about the Beatles, and then that triggered my interest in the Beatles, and it was an interest that led to collecting. So my mother gave me numerous items, my brother Peter gave me numerous items, my father Neil gave me numerous items, and then I was collecting them in my own right as well for 30 years. And I ended up with this huge collection, a very unique collection. And of course you think, well, it's all very wonderful sitting in it started off sitting in my house, and then it outgrew the house, and it ended up being in a lock-up, and then the lock-up grew to a bigger lock-up, and then this idea for a Beatles museum was born 17 years ago. Toyed with it, never really took it seriously, gonna do it, went back to it, went off the idea, went back to it, it wasn't pressing, and then I got serious about it about 10 years ago and decided if I was going to do it, it'd have to be on Matthew Street in Liverpool. And that presented a problem in itself because Matthew Street is most probably the most expensive real estate in Liverpool. We're doing it the American way there, real estate, did you get that? And in Liverpool. And two, everyone that's had property on Matthew Street aren't selling their property. And I got close on 3 occasions over a 10-year period, and the final time I got that close that when it fell through, I went, I give up. And I was walking through a car park looking very forlorn on my way back to my car, bumped into a friend I hadn't seen for 4 years who said, "What's wrong with your face?" And I just told him why I was looking so down, this dream, I decided I'd had to let it go. And he said, "That's a fantastic idea." He said, "Why are you letting it go?" I said, "There's no buildings on Matthew Street." I said, "So, I'm putting myself out of my misery and stopping this frustration." And he said, "I've just been offered a building on Matthew Street." I said, "When?" He said, 30 minutes ago. I said, "There's nothing for sale." He said, "No, there is." I said, "Who else knows about it?" He said, "Me." I said, "Just you?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Are you buying it?" He said, "No." He said, "Do you want to?" So I said, "Oh yeah, I really do." So he phoned the gentleman there and then. We met the following morning, and voila, here we are in our Magical History Beatles Museum.